Hello there, thanks a lot for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and boy do I love this piece. Look how small it is, but it is just so fun, so early, and so in my estimation, just so powerful as an early Beatles promotional in-store point of purchase marketing piece, if you will. Call it a small poster, call it a banner, whatever. It's only like 7 by 16 inches or something like that, made of paper, but your eyes are telling you the whole story. Just you have to forgive the reflection, by the way. I'm sorry about that, but obviously it's framed for posterity. I'll do the best I can there. I think if I tilt it up, we get a better look at it. The big words, of course, on sale here in the Beatles, and from me to you. My goodness, that's their third, of course, Parlophone single over in England before they were known in America. And as far as I know, there was no in-store marketing piece made for either Love Me Do or Please Please Me, the first two singles. But once Please Please Me went to #1, EMI officials started thinking, maybe we have something here, so we'll start doing more than just the standard trade advertisements, and let's get something going with actually in-store advertising. So the From Me to You was actually released on April 11th of 1963, and you just gotta love the way the fact that it says, now on LP, the Please Please Me album, which we all know so well to this day, is an afterthought on this poster. That's so funny, but of course it was a singles world back then, right? I mean, singles were everything, and LPs were not exactly a gathering of singles in England, but very much, an adult format that teenagers didn't favor. So the Beatles were heavy on EPs and singles in their early days, especially 63 and 64 over in England, and of course Parlophone being a subsidiary of EMI Music. So the LP was released in mid-March, and the single From Me to You was released as I said, on April 11th, and this is a combination piece which advertises them both and very clearly says that it's on sale here. So collectors just love the fact, by the way, that this LP mini is, yes, it's the stereo one. Isn't that nice? Because this album, of course, on its original stereo Parlophone label, is a major collector's item in its own right, so that's really fun. Down below there, they do give both the stereo and the mono catalog numbers for people to be able to order it or whatever, be able to reference to it. And boy, I'll tell you, the boys' hair is just so short. Look at their faces inside those red circles. Especially John, that hair is so short. And I've always felt George looks kind of ghoulish there, don't you think? It's just kind of it's a very unusual picture of him. So, but this was to tell customers they could buy these guys' records right here. And they were, I think the small size indicates they knew these would be going primarily out, not to record stores, which weren't too common in the early 60s, but to department stores, places like, Woolworths and places like that, where they have only a little bit of wall space and perhaps a small record department. So they would be vying for space on that wall. You couldn't do the later in the 60s, the big 2 by 3 foot poster. It just wouldn't get any exposure. But of course, Brian Epstein had his NEMS Enterprises, his North End music stores. And so even those stores, though, had a lot of musical instruments and sheet music and everything. They weren't dedicated record stores yet. So thus the small size. But I think it just plays into the fact so nicely that the Beatles just weren't big enough yet. They weren't famous enough yet to command a big piece. They were an up-and-coming act. And although the record had probably gotten, it hadn't reached #1 yet, but they were just, they were the single Please Please Me had, so they were a hot new phenomenon, but of course they weren't hot at all compared to how they would get later on in 1963. So I just love this piece. Again, it's British. The Beatles were unknown in America. Perhaps Del Shannon was putting out his version of From Me to You around this time or a little bit later, but spring of 1963, and here come the Beatles. Look out, their third single and their first album's going up the charts. So great point of purchase piece, great little promo poster. So hope you enjoyed it. A lot of fun showing it to you, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.